What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It is the night of a brutal ALCS Game 3 loss, but I'm feeling amped up. One win and the series is tied. So we're doing a Q&A tonight to talk about the current state of the team, and I'm actually not doing it alone. I have my good friend and former co-worker, I guess you could say owner of UnhingedYankees.com, Patrick Hennessy. Pat, how you doing, man?
Dan, I could be feeling a little bit better, but, I'm here with you. We're talking Yankees. What could be better,
Absolutely, for sure. Now, before we roll into the questions, because we got a bunch now. We got actually over 100 questions. Now, we're not going to answer all of them. Going to answer a good bit of them.
We're going to try.
Now, I do want to say my thoughts on the loss and basically the state going forward of the series. Now, I'm not as depleted hype-wise as you would think I would be. Now, I was really, really upset during the game, of course, as you all saw. But I'm actually feeling pretty good. Like I said, one more win and the series is tied. We got Tanaka and Greinke, assuming that Wednesday's game is rained out, which it most likely is going to be. Tanaka versus Greinke, Game 4, definite win for the Yankees in my opinion. Series is tied. Pat, how you feeling?
Honestly, I would say during the game today, I felt completely destroyed. Like I was telling myself, the series is over.
No, I want to die.
But now that the sand has kind of settled, I would say that
sand is kind of settled. I like that.
Yeah, the sand is settled. I would say that we're in a decent position. I think the next two games at home are very winnable, and if we could head back to Houston with a 3-2 lead, I think that this isn't the same as the 2017 team. We could definitely win one of the last two games in Houston.
Absolutely. Now, heading back home from Game 2's loss, which was a great game but a tough loss, I was hoping we would go back to Houston with a 3-2 series lead. Because like I was saying to you before we got on call here, I wasn't expecting to sweep at home like we did back in 2017. I just think that's unreasonable to expect. Not that it wasn't possible. It was definitely possible. I was just hoping go back to Houston with a 3-2 series lead. The Yankees still can do that, win the next two games, win Game 4 and 5, go back to Houston up 3-2. Hopefully win one of the games in Houston. It's going to be a tough task. We will have to face Garrett Cole again, but it's definitely doable. Win one of two games if we win the next two, and we're going to the World Series. So I think you agree with that, right, Pat?
Yeah.
Just win the next two, go to Houston up 3-2.
I don't know about you, but I wasn't even expecting today to be a win anyway. I was already marking.
No, me either. And I think nobody really was. I mean, we won Game 1, which was awesome. So basically, the game plan going into the ALCS was win one of the games in Houston, head back to the Bronx. 1-1, series tied. Probably going to lose the games against Verlander and Cole. We lost the games against Verlander and Cole. We're down 1-2. Win the next two games at the stadium. Go back to Houston up 3-2. Hopefully win one of those games. And like I said, we'll be going to the World Series. So we're going to answer a bunch of your guys' questions. We got a bunch, like I said. Pat, you ready to get rolling on these questions?
Let's rock and roll.
Alrighty, starting it off, we have Christopher Mesa. He writes, do you think Gary will get out of the slump before this series ends? All right, so I'll go first with that. Now, as you all know, I'm a big Gary Sanchez supporter, always have been. I really get on the haters, the ones that wanted him traded after the 2018 season. He had a really good 2019 season, I should say. Tailed off a little bit towards the end. Now, as for the playoffs, he has not been good whatsoever. Offensively, that is. Defensively, I've been very pleased with him. But offensively, he has not put together good at-bats. He's looked lost at the plate. I know a lot of people want to start Austin Romine. Do I think Gary will get out of the slump? I do. Now, I mean, I'm not too sure actually if he will, but he does have the ability to just, hit 2 home runs in one game like he did in the ALDS Game 2 against Boston last year. So, I mean, yeah, he's been struggling a lot, but Game 4, he very well could hit 2 home runs. We don't know. Now, as for the Austin Romine conversation, this is weird coming from me. I wouldn't be opposed to starting Romine. Now, if I was in charge of writing out the Yankees lineup, I would for sure pencil in Gary Sanchez. Now, I like Gary in the 7 or 8 hole for sure, so I would basically just keep him where he is. But if they started Austin Romine, I mean, I wouldn't be throwing a fit as I usually would. I tweeted this out earlier. I think as of right now, Gary Sanchez and Austin Romine are on the same level in terms of offensive production. They're both terrible, so if the Yankees do decide to go with Austin Romine, which they're not, I'm pretty sure Aaron Boone already said that he's not even considering doing that. Gary Sanchez will start Game 4. Either way, I'm cool with it. If it was up to me, I would start Gary Sanchez. Pat, what do you think?
Honestly, the question was, do we think Gary's going to break out of his slump, right?
Well, yeah. So I answered that, and then would you start him, basically?
I'm going to say, I mean, you have to keep starting Gary Sanchez simply because at the end of the day, even 20% of Gary Sanchez is better than 80% of Austin Romine.
Agreed.
So
yep.
I would say he's not really going to break out of his slump too much because if he would have, it would have been during the Minnesota series when they were facing pretty bad pitching.
But, I mean, he's facing now the Minnesota series. I thought he put together some good at bats.
See, I wasn't even impressed with his at bats though.
Well, I mean, because they usually all ended up resulting in a strikeout
I mean,
anyways. But as for the Houston series, he really hasn't put together many good at-bats.
Well, also, don't forget, he's facing much better right-handed pitching, too.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, he's faced Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander. And honestly, like I was saying to you before, Gary Sanchez is not great. He's good.
Yeah,
we
were talking about this
He's
before.
a really good hitter.
He's never going to be the 2016 Gary Sanchez who was like Babe Ruth.
He's not great. He's a good hitter, and I've come to accept that. Now, as for a catcher in the regular season offensively, he's basically the best you're going to get. Now, as for the postseason, he just can't really face he can't hit good pitching, and that really stems from not being able to stay away from a curveball low and away, or any breaking ball low and away for that matter. Now, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, a couple of the Yankee hitters have adjusted to that over the years. Gary Sanchez can't seem to do that, which definitely is a problem going forward. Hopefully he can adjust to that breaking ball low and away, but as of now, I mean, it's basically his kryptonite. He's screwed when you ever get that pitch. You agree?
He's still going to start. I mean, no matter what.
Oh, I'd say so for sure. Yeah. I mean, I would start him, like I said,
chance.
but I wouldn't be opposed if they start Romine.
I mean, I would be severely opposed.
Because they're equivalents right now.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, you would? No, I mean, that's valid. I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
I mean, if you're putting together a lineup for the ALCS, even if Gary's looking lost at the plate, there's no way in hell you could start Austin Romine over him. That would just be, it would be like starting
you don't
got to
convince me.
Judge.
Like I said, I would no. Well, I mean, one, they're.
It would be like starting Maben over Judge in 2017.
That's, I guess,
when Judge was struggling.
I mean, like I said, I would start Gary Sanchez. If they do start Austin Romine, I guess I can understand it. It's not going to happen, at least.
No, I don't even know why we're talking about
Maybe
this.
if it fettles into the World Series, I could see them maybe starting.
This is
Romine.
an irrelevant question.
We'll see. Yeah. Well, that wasn't even the question. He just really, I kind of brought that up. He just asked if Gary. So, do you think Gary will break out of his slump? Yes or no? No, I think it's possible, but I'm gonna go with. I'll go with yes.
He might break out of it, but he's not gonna be like Superman breaking out of it. He might get a couple hits.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, he's not gonna be amazing. But all right, moving on to the next question. Angel_EMC. He writes, "Isn't it frustrating how we have all the necessary weapons to beat the Astros, and yet somehow it still manages to fall on the manager's end once again?"
Oh, can I answer this one first?
I disagree with him, but yeah.
This is like a beautiful state. What's his name? Angel.
Angel_EMC.
Honestly, I could not describe this series any better because if you look at our teams on paper, the Yankees beat the Astros in just about every category besides starting pitching.
But starting pitching in the postseason, that's important.
I understand that, but we have had so many opportunities against their starting pitching that
for sure, especially against Cole today, we had a lot of opportunities.
We could be up 3-0 right now if our offense stayed locked in the past 2 games, but we just completely disappeared. So
now, like I was saying to you, I think the part that I'm disappointed in the offense is not game 1, obviously, because we won 7-0. Now, game 2, I was very disappointed in everything post when Justin Verlander came out of the game.
Agreed.
We were terrible against the bullpen. That was brutal. Now, against Garrett Cole, we managed some good at-bats. We put ourselves in an opportunity to score some runs. We never did that. Now, once we got to the bullpen, we did come across a run. Gleyber Torres hit a solo shot. So really, I mean, when it comes to Garrett Cole, I wasn't expecting to do much off him anyways. But as for the question, now if you're blaming Aaron Boone, I'm not blaming Aaron Boone at all. The only thing I would say falls on Boone, and it's not necessarily Boone, it's basically the organization as a whole or whoever comes up with the lineup. We don't necessarily know. Brett Gardner hitting third today, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would not have batted him third. I don't think we'll hit third ever again in the postseason.
See, I
think
with
tomorrow's
Boone,
lineup, or Game 4's lineup definitely will start out with DJ, Judge, Gleyber. You would hope and think, right?
I mean, my thing with Boone is that it's just too analytical sometimes. Like, I think it was.
I think Boone's done a tremendous job this postseason. He's done a great job. Unless you're talking about, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't.
I mean, if we're being honest, like Green should have never been taken out of that game.
Yeah, no, you're right. But the numbers suggest that Ottavino should have came in.
I know, but when a guy is rolling that
George
much.
George Springer hit the home run off Adam Ottavino that tied the game in Game 2. George Springer is known to be a great fastball hitter. Chad Green operates off his fastball.
I understand that.
Now, so the numbers suggest that Adam Ottavino, I would have left in Green.
Adam Ottavino has not been good lately.
Yeah.
At all.
And I think that's known now. Adam Ottavino, in terms of high leverage
even towards the end of the regular
situations,
season, you could see that though.
Oh, for sure, and that's been a lot of relievers. Now, fortunately, it's just been into the postseason. It's really just been Ottavino that struggled. Everybody else, pitching wise, besides in terms of starting pitching, James Paxton has been good.
Agreed.
Now, I mean, Adam Ottavino. I mean, I consider Luis Sessa on a I put Luis Sessa above Adam Ottavino at this point, to be honest, in terms of like high leverage situations, because Sessa actually looked pretty good today. But yeah, Adam Ottavino, that was definitely a shame. As for the actual question, if you're blaming Aaron Boone, I think he's managed a great postseason so far. He's really, I mean, pitching wise, the pitching's been good if you think about it. I mean,
well, yeah,
with the exception of Adam Ottavino, like I said, it's been good. He's managed the game well.
I wouldn't put all the blame on Boone particularly. But if you look at the way the teams match up, the Yankees should definitely be performing much better than they have. And I think some of that does lean on Boone and his decision.
If you told me before the series began that the pitching was going to pitch as well as it has, I would think we would be up 3-0.
So would
right
I.
now.
I mean,
the offense has been brutal. Yeah, and especially Cole did not. I mean, Cole was filthy. Don't get me wrong, but he was not his best today. He was not at his best. We should have scored off of him.
Also, the decision to sit Stanton the past 2 games, I don't know what's going on there.
Well, that's a tough cookie
I'm
to
sure we're gonna get to that with a question eventually.
I don't know what the deal is with that with Giancarlo Stanton. I mean, it bothers me in this aspect. Here's why: because one. Yeah, he injured his groin. Now, he injured his groin before he hit that
Wasn't it his quad?
Solo bomb in Game 1. Quad. What? Same. I don't know what the fuck it is. Sorry, whatever. Injury, whatever. Had his injury, hit a home run after that in ALCS Game 1, which is awesome. Then, he doesn't play Game 2, doesn't play Game 3. Now, moments after the lineup came out for Game 3, SNY posted a video of him hitting back-to-back home runs in batting practice, and he looked just fine. That bothers me. Stanton should be in the lineup. He very well could have changed the outcome in the game of definitely Game 2 and possibly Game 3. Who knows?
I agree.
Stanton is a force. He lengthens the lineup, and people undervalue how much of an impact he can have on the game. Giancarlo Stanton better be in the lineup for ALCS Game 4.
Agreed.
Bottom line. Whether he's DHing, playing left. Now, I understand it from the aspect of having him play left. That's tough, especially when you have like an injured leg. But, I mean, got to get him in the lineup somehow. Have him DH. I'd want them to sit Didi. I don't think they will. Maybe sit Edwin. I don't think they'll do that as well. And I think Hicks is definitely going to play Game 4. So, I mean, it's going to be tough to like figure out who's coming out for him. Giancarlo Stanton needs to be in the lineup. That's the bottom line. You agree?
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next question. Joe Johnson, he writes, we're in the same position we were against the Astros 2 years ago. I honestly don't see us losing to anyone not named Verlander or Cole, so I really think we'll go back to Houston leading 3-2. Pat, that is basically exactly what we said to each other. Yeah. I agree. Now, we knew Verlander and Cole were going to be the tough ones coming in this series, obviously. And basically, I mean, we didn't lose to Verlander, but the games that Verlander and Cole pitched, those are the games that we've lost. And I agree. The games that they're not pitching those two, we should definitely win. So I think the next two, Game 4 and 5, we should win. Now, Justin Verlander probably is going to start Game 5, though, if Wednesday's game is rained out, which it seems like it's going to be. So that's a little bit tough. But, I mean, you got to just hope the Yankees can string together the next 2 wins in Yankee Stadium, head back to Houston up 3-2.
Also, I have a little complaint here. How ridiculous is it that we might have to play 4 games in 4 days in the playoffs? Like, what is that all about? Why can we not just push everything back a day and have an off day?
No, I mean, because scheduling-wise and, like, people already have tickets, that, I mean, you just can't do. Because they're going to have the what would have been the travel day back to Houston. Now, that would be Game 5. So, Game 4 will be Thursday. Friday will be Game 5. I mean, it sucks. It's what's going to have to happen.
The only thing now is that the Yankees
tomorrow's game,
Wednesday's
game, I mean, it's going to mess up a lot of things. I think it helps out Houston, especially with the fact they can start Verlander Game 5. Now, ultimately, I guess it really doesn't matter because, I mean, if the Yankees were going to win this series, you're going to see Justin Verlander anyways. But you really want to win the next 2 games at Yankee Stadium for sure. All right, moving on. Let me see here. Carl Butler, he's definitely a good long-time subscriber. He writes, I hope the Yankees win, please. Houston is just an expansion team. All right, that's ridiculous. Dan Rourke rules. Okay. That's not ridiculous. Thank you, man. The New York Yankees totally light up our lives. So just a little comment there. I guess not a question. Let me see. Let me find another question here. Maria Batista asks, what changes does Aaron Boone need to make? I think it just results around Giancarlo Stanton. He has to be in the lineup. Brett Gardner should not hit 3. I don't think he will hit 3.
Brett Gardner's got to get out of that 3 hole.
I think that's kind of safe to say he won't be, so that's good. And also kind of goes without saying, but Adam Ottavino cannot be used in high-leverage situations anymore. I think that really sums it up. Stanton in the lineup, Gardner drop down, Adam Ottavino, do not pitch him in high-leverage situations. I think you would agree with that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Joanel Sriracha writes, why did Boone elect with Ottavino then Green from the Philippines here? That's dope. Is the Philippines, is that like another country or something?
Are you stupid?
I don't know. What is the Philippines?
I'm pretty sure the Philippines is in Asia.
Here, right? Oh, so that is another country. How am I stupid?
It's like across the world.
So that's another country?
Yeah, obviously it is.
I am never wrong, Pat. I am never wrong.
Yeah, but what kind of?
All right,
Why
so,
would you even have to question that?
Because I'm just seeing if that's not in this country. I know it's not in this
Clearly
country,
it's
but I
not.
figured it wasn't. Blow me. All right, question was, why did Boone elect with Ottavino then Green? I guess he's talking about ALDS Game 2. Yeah, we already went over this. George Springer, fastball hitter. So Chad Green mostly operates off fastball, so they went with Ottavino because the matchup and analytics say they should have.
It was a bad
It kind of
call,
was.
but nothing you
It's a
could
good
do.
move in terms of the numbers, but I mean, see, analytics don't believe in hot and cold. Adam Ottavino is very cold right now. So, I mean, I would have left Green in. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't question Boone on that. And ultimately, in Game 2, the pitching was just fine. Our offense couldn't score. That's the real issue here. That's why we didn't win that game. I guess you agree with that.
Yeah, of course.
All right, next question comes from JH001471. He writes, why isn't Voit on the playoff roster? There's really no spot for Voit, and it sucks because he really was a crucial part of the team in the beginning of the season. And there's really no left-handers on the Astros pitching staff for Voit to face. So he kind of was just the odd man out, you know?
In all honesty, though, like, I understand that.
And he was struggling big time.
Yeah, I mean, ever since he came back from the injury, he was just awful at the plate.
Yeah, for sure. And it sucks. Is like I said, Voit was really good in the beginning of the season. And overall, his numbers still actually were pretty good
He
to end
kind
the
of
season.
didn't he bat in the 3-hole?
Yeah, no.
He carried
Voit
them.
carried this offense
Yeah.
when Judge and Stanton were out. And I mean that. He really, really did. And he still finished, I think, with like an 850, like 860 OPS, which is really good.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. He's just the odd man out. Next question. Daryl Tan writes, thoughts on the Game 3 lineup? Surely Gardner and Torres will be switched next game. Yeah, we were saying
Of
that.
course,
Splitting up
yeah.
the lefties is pretty useless. Maybe even bench Gardy for Hicks if Stanton can come back. I mean, Daryl, you're basically on the same thought process that I have. I want Gardner benched. I just kind of know that's not going to happen, and I agree. Splitting up the lefties is definitely useless. Don't bat Brett Gardner third. As for benching Gardner for Hicks, I don't know. I mean, I want Hicks in the lineup. I want Stanton in the lineup. I think ultimately what might happen, I think maybe it's tough because maybe Gio will have to come out so Edwin can play first. LeMahieu goes to third, and then Stanton can DH. I'm not sure. I would like to sit Didi. I don't know what they're going to do. Stanton has to be in the lineup though. That's the bottom line.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, Hicks definitely put up some good at bats today against Cole. He walked twice, worked the count. I mean, it's going to be tough, but they got to figure it out. Charlie Burke, he writes, how does Maben fit into this lineup with Stanton coming back? Is he just the guy that plays left in the 7th plus? Maben's a long afterthought for me. He's definitely not starting by any means because, I mean, the guys you need to get in is going to be Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Hicks. Maben, I mean, it really depends like who is playing in the outfield. I guess he would be. If Stanton plays left and Hicks starts the game as well, then I guess Maben could come in for the defensive replacement for Stanton in the 7th inning.
Honestly, I'm surprised Maben is even still on the roster now that Hicks is back.
I have a feeling in the World Series, if we advance, I think Maben might come off, Wade might be put on. Now,
No,
I'm not
I would
sure
take
what
Maben off and put on Ford.
Or four maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think Ford really has a spot at this team just from how I've seen them manage
Ford.
the postseason so far. Yeah, Ford's a beast. Now maybe I'm not sure if the Nationals have a lot. Do the Nationals have a lot of lefties on their pitching staff? Do you know by any chance?
I just Doolittle, right?
I have no idea. I have no idea, but maybe that would open up a spot for Voit. I really don't think so. Corbin, yeah, that's true, man. What a shame that was, bro. That we could have gotten Corbin and we didn't. You see how well he pitched tonight?
Yeah.
It's a real shame. He had like 10 plus Ks.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maben, I mean,
They have an awesome rotation.
They do, but that's basically it. Now, their offense is definitely good in some aspects, but their bullpen is terrible. So, I mean, I still think whoever wins the ALCS is going to not wipe the floor, but definitely take the World Series
Yeah, I
from the
agree.
Nationals, who are officially in it now. They clinched tonight. All right, moving on. Leroy Irvin writes, I haven't lost faith in my Yanks. I still believe a 6 to 7 game series is a possible to win. For sure. I mean, like I said, I haven't lost faith now. ALCS Game 3 was definitely a hit in my confidence. Pat, how confident are you feeling going into Game 4?
I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm at like a 6.
I was going to say a 6 or a 7, yeah, which is still pretty good. That's pretty confident.
But also, like, what we can't forget is, like, we're not going to win every playoff game.
Facts. And it's kind of crazy because up until Game 2, we kind of haven't experienced that, like, brutal, terrible, miserable loss that makes you want to just, like, die.
Yeah.
And, like, I felt that in Game 2, and I was like, oh, wow, this is, like, what the misery of a postseason loss feels like. Because the 3-game series with Minnesota, obviously we swept and just outclassed them and embarrassed them. Game 1 of the ALCS, we took pretty easily. And then Game 2, we had a heartbreaker. So, I mean, it definitely is tough so far. And Game 3 was just miserable, as you all know.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely still pretty confident. Game 4, Tanaka and Greinke most likely, assuming Wednesday is rained out. That's definitely most likely a W, I would think. Game 5 is going to be tough because they might have Verlander on the mound. We'll have to see, but one more win, and the series is tied, and we're good.
Also, one thing that everybody needs to remember is the 1998 Yankees were down 2-1 in the ALCS, too.
There you go.
Just remember
That's
that.
arguably the greatest team of all time. Nolan Russell, he writes, what do you think of our struggles in our starting rotation in the last 2 games? I've noticed that our pitchers aren't making it through 4 innings. Well, the 4 innings thing, that kind of also stems from our bullpen being a significant strength for us. You don't need to have our starters go that deep into games because we have our bullpen that, besides Adam Ottavino, has been really good. Now, as for Luis Severino today, what did you think of Severino today, Pat?
I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like as the playoffs go on and the years go by, I think we're just going to keep on realizing that Severino is just not a big game pitcher.
Yeah, he's not. He gets too into. I mean, I could see him becoming like the ace that he can be, but as of right now, I don't think he deserves the title of an ace.
But this is 3 years in a row now.
But to be fair, he had 4 starts this year. I mean, he still is technically working back from an injury and stuff. He hasn't pitched all that much, so I mean, I give him the benefit of the doubt. But as for being a big game pitcher, there's no reason to believe that he is a big game pitcher.
Also, Paxton is not a big game pitcher.
That scares me. Now, speaking of Game 5 with Verlander on the mound for the Astros, if that is who they're going with, James Paxton will be on the bump.
Paxton looked like he was scared as shit on Game 2.
Bro, I'm telling you, if we didn't have Chad Green, dude, we would be fucked.
But that's another thing.
Honestly,
Chad Green's a beast. If we're gonna have to play 4 games in 4 days, we're going to need the bullpen to be rested. We can't be using these guys for 2 innings every night.
And that goes for Houston as well, because, Houston, they have
but they have good starters.
For Game 4, Verlander Game 5, Cole for Game 6. If this goes to Game 7, we might be seeing, a bullpen day for each team in Game 7. I'm trying to think, who is the Astros' 4th starter, because they don't have Wade Miley on the roster.
Or whatever his name is.
Who?
Urquidy.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, I have no idea who that is, so I guess I'm just a casual. Andrew Modelis writes, how do you feel about having a bullpen game for Game 4? Now, that was the initial plan for the Yankees, but like I said, Wednesday's game is basically a washout for sure, so they're probably going to be able to start Tanaka Game 4 and Greinke for the Astros.
By the way,
no bullpen game what's up?
Just letting you know, Jose Urquidy, pitcher for the Houston Astros, he pitched 41 innings this season with a 3.95 ERA.
All right. How many strikeouts and how many strikeouts? Yeah, you
40
said 40
strikeouts.
Innings, 40 strikeouts. So I guess he's decent. How old is he?
He is 24. He's from the Mexican Professional League.
Shit. So right-hander, I assume?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think we would have our way with him anyway, so that's fine. Martin Peterson writes, why didn't Gardner bunt in the first inning to advance the runners? Could that have made a difference in the game?
Yeah,
the Yankees
I agree.
don't bunt. I don't know. The Yankees don't
they
bunt.
should have.
Nobody in baseball bunts nowadays, and Gardner's not going to bunt. Guy hit 28 home runs this year. They're about the long ball. I wouldn't. You could say it's nice in theory, I guess. It's just not going to happen.
It also bothered me.
It's not even on my mind.
Seeing the Astros just perfect a perfect hit and run.
Oh, the hit and run.
Yeah, that was just
the Astros are brilliant, man, in all aspects of the game. Whether it's the front office, the manager, the players, they're really just a brilliant team.
Meanwhile, our analytics say you can't do a hit and run because it's too risky.
I don't know. We've done our hit and runs before, I guess. I don't even know. I don't even know that's necessarily analytics. That's kind of just I think that's a manager's call, right?
Boone.
I don't know if that would be. I love Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone's done a good job. Let's not push a narrative that he has.
Anybody could push this team to 100 wins.
Yeah, whatever. Ray is not okay. Writes, Yankees aren't hitting good. The pitching is decent enough, but their hitting has been terrible. Edwin's not been doing anything, and Sanchez looked confused. However, Gleyber's been doing good and in good time. Why can't the Yankees focus up? Now, I think they're focused. They've just been facing some really tough pitching.
Facts, Ray. You're just stating facts.
I don't like when people say a team's not focused or a team looks flat. When a team's not hitting well, they look flat. When a team's hitting well, they look amazing. It's kind of just you're facing Garrett Cole. You're going to look bad. Now, I'm just banking that the Yankees are going to destroy Zach Greinke in Game 4 and Masahiro Tanaka will pitch another gem.
But my thing is, if we can't score off of Cole when he's not on, what happens when he is on?
I don't know. I mean, we got to just get lucky if you think about it. I mean, eventually something's going to have to give. Maybe they go into next game against Cole feeling a little bit better now that they've seen him. And I still trust a lot of guys in the Yankees lineup. DJ LeMahieu's one of them. Aaron Judge is obviously one of them. Gleyber Torres for sure.
I only trust those top 3 guys right there.
I'm trying to think. Who else do I even though Edwin struggled, when he's up, I still have good faith in him. Didi, I do not. Brett Gardner, even though he struggled, I always have faith in Brett Gardner to at least give me a good at bat. Aaron Hicks looked good today. I have faith in him, even though we haven't seen too much of him.
That's something about Didi for me. I mean, I feel like if he just comes up with these random big hits, and it just makes everybody forget how bad he was. If it wasn't for that grand slam against the Twins, everybody would just be killing him.
For sure, yeah, absolutely. Dude, you know what really fucking was terrible today, dude? The first inning when we're down by 1, and the Yankees get first and second
and Didi swings at first pitch.
And then it was in Gardner instant pop up, Edwin instant pop up, and it was like, dude, it was so fucking miserable, dude. Oh, I
had such confidence at that point, and then they all just shit on it.
In my young 19-year-old life, dude, I don't know if I've ever been more miserable than that moment right there. I was questioning, what do I have to live for at this point? That was terrible. Moving on, Marcos Hernandez writes, what is your level of confidence that we can beat Verlander or Cole in Houston? To be honest, not high, but hopefully they can do it.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
Verlander's probably not pitching in Houston now. It's going to be,
I'm at a 3.
All right, here, give me now not just in Houston because Verlander's probably pitching Yankee Stadium, but I'm gonna give you both the pitchers and you tell me what your level of confidence is 1 to 10. All right, Justin Verlander, Game 5, Yankee Stadium, 1 to 10. What's your confidence we can beat him?
Let's go.
Or at least win the game. Win the game.
Let's go with.
I have a 6 or 7 on that. Yeah, I'd say 6 or 7.
6.
Now as for Garrett Cole, probably Game 6 in Houston. What is your confidence?
That's
game? I'm
like
going with a 3 or 4.
That's like a 2.
Yeah, definitely below 5 for sure. But I mean, anything can happen. Maybe build his pitch count up, get to the bullpen. Our offense just has to put together good at bats, and they put together some decent at bats today. They just couldn't capitalize with runners in scoring position.
We just swing at way too many first pitches. I was noticing in the game today, in the whole series, really, it takes us about 5 minutes to bat, and then when Houston comes up, it takes them about 25 minutes. They draw our pitchers out to pitch about 25 pitches per inning. Mm-hmm. They draw walks, they take balls, they do everything right.
Speaking of long time gaps, Luis Severino coming out for the 4th inning or the 5th inning after the whole little umpire fiasco. Yeah, that was a bad call. I didn't like.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Green got us out of it, but I didn't like Severino starting that.
Let's talk about that for a minute. I have a gripe with the umpires. What takes a new umpire about 30 minutes to put on the gear and come out?
Yeah, and I think
seriously.
Jewel Sherman of the New York Post, he was saying, I've seen a bunch of incidents happen where an umpire has to be removed for the game and a new umpire shifts over, and it's never even taken remotely that long. That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
and it only, that screws both teams because that extended Cole's wait time to get back on the mound and Severino.
I would understand maybe 10 minutes to get the gear on, but that was a good 30 minutes.
10 minutes, that's fine. Bro, that was what the fuck? It was ridiculous. All right, moving on. Last one from YouTube we'll take. Trouble, or True Bono, he says it. Fallen Angel writes, listen, we know what we were doing. We win the next 2, and Tanaka's going to take the series win in Houston. This is nothing. Well, I definitely agree. I think we will take the next 2, hopefully.
Tanaka's not going to pitch in Houston.
I'm going to say Tanaka's going to be a part of that. Tanaka's going to pitch Game 4, assuming it's rained out tomorrow, against Greinke. And then in Houston, pitching-wise, it's going to be this. So, assuming tomorrow's rained out, Tanaka against Greinke in Game 4. Game 5, it's going to be troublesome. Probably Verlander against James Paxton in Yankee Stadium. Hopefully we can come away with a win there. And then Game 6, I guess, would be Severino against Cole, I guess, again? Or would that be Game 7? That would be Game 7, actually, I think. Who would pitch Game 6? Maybe Game 6
would be
Game
Paxton,
6 might be a bull. No, Game 6 I believe would be... No, Game 5 I believe would be Paxton. Game 6 might actually be a bullpen day.
Oh, yeah, and then Game 7.
Maybe. I'm not sure, honestly. I mean,
if I'm being honest, I am taking... If we push this series to a Game 7, I throw Tanaka out of the bullpen Game 7.
Oh, well, I mean, once you get to Game 7, then, everything's on the table. Yeah, you just gotta, win the fucking game. Jeez. I gotta stop cursing, Pat.
Gotta clean up.
Moving over to the Instagram comments. Starting us off, Cameron _Gottlieb, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, writes, Oh, we got another person suggesting a bunt. In the first inning with DJ and Judge on first and second, it would have been a smart to play small ball with Gardner and have him drop down a bunt to move them over. Edwin hitting a sac fly is something he could do very well.
I agree.
Got quite a few people
but you know what the problem is? I feel like Brett Gardner...
This is something they're not going to do.
Brett Gardner thinks he's Barry Bonds now. That's in hindsight.
Gardner, I trust Gardner. I mean, that's like a Monday morning quarterback thing, I think. I don't think anybody was really suggesting Gardner should bunt at the time. Like, were you thinking Gardner should bunt at the time?
Yes.
Were you really?
Yes, I swear on my life.
Bullshit.
I swear.
Right, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to find out. There's no way for me to find out. Yeah, I mean, a lot of you guys want that in the moment. It's nice in hindsight to look back and say that it would have worked out. I don't really think many people were thinking that in the moment. All right, moving on. Legion of Bills writes, do you think we re-sign Didi? Now, I could talk about this for hours. Do I think we re-sign him, and do I want to re-sign him? Two different stories. Now, do I want to re-sign him? No. Would I be totally opposed to it? No. If they get him on like a good maybe one-year deal to reboost his value, I'd be okay with it, honestly. Would I re-sign him? No. But do I think we will? Honestly, gun to my head, I have us re-signing Didi Gregorius. What about you, Pat?
I would re-sign Didi if it was on like a one-year deal, but I would give him nothing more than that.
I give him like a one-year deal. I don't know how much he's making arbitration-wise this year. I give him somewhere like, I guess maybe like the low teens he would make. Maybe like, you know what I could see them actually doing? I don't know. I was going to say maybe extend him the qualifying offer, but that's at like $17 million now. I don't know if I want to give that to Didi right now.
Agreed.
Luis JD.
Wait. Time out.
What's up? All right, Pat's AirPods are dying, so we're just going to take one more question. Yeah, I'm putting all the blame on you. So I'm going to take one more question. Let me find a good one here. Let me just read this. Another one on Gary. All right, Brian_Alduino. You get the last question of the day. Do you think the reason Gary is struggling so much is because he still hasn't recovered from the oblique? Pat, you were saying that. They kind of rushed him back so he could play in the postseason. All right, Pat, so we'll start off with you. Do you think Gary is struggling because he's still hurt?
Yeah, I would say so for sure. I mean, as far as I remember, I feel like the regular season was like 10 months ago. But Gary did not...
It does feel long now.
Wasn't his return game one of the ALDS?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that he might have been rushed back too quickly just to get him back in the
Wow, in a way, I'll be honest, I actually totally forgot about that. Gary had that oblique injury. He had a couple, and I think he gets injured a lot. I totally forgot. He had that one right before the postseason, and then he came back. I did forget about that. That actually could be true, Brian. I didn't even think about that.
Don't forget about Edwin as well.
Edwin, too. Now, Edwin is a little bit of a different story because he has looked good at times. In the ALDS first two games, he looked good. He did hit a double tonight against Garrett Cole. I mean, that's a good point, Brian. And Pat, I know you said that too. So I kind of changed my mind on that. Maybe he could still be hurt. Bottom line is, I mean, Gary's got to step up. If not, I wouldn't be opposed to Romine starting. I don't think he'll start, though, at any time in the I don't think Romine will start in the ALCS. I say Gary's starting spot is definitely safe for the ALCS. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. I'd say so. All right, so that's going to be a wrap thanks to Pat's AirPods dying.
Yep. I mean, we've done a lot of questions.
We've been going for a while. What's our time mark at?
We're at like 30 minutes almost.
Oh, okay. Yeah, word. All right, so that's going to be all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I like doing these Q&As. Going to try to do them more often. Hopefully next time we do one, we're on a little better circumstances. First off, Pat, where can they find you out on social media and all that?
You can follow the Unhinged Yankees Twitter page at Unhinged Yankees. You can follow me at Unhinged Patrick, formerly True Hennessy. Suspended.
He got fucking suspended or some shit.
Yeah. Yes.
You got what happened with that again, real quick?
It was
did you upload copyright or something?
Yeah.
Or no?
So basically, I had like a 30-second highlight video of like the Yankees, and it had Empire State
Pat
of
uploaded
Mind.
a porn video.
Yep.
Oh, you use Empire State of Mind, bro? Yeah. You're such a rookie. You know you can't use that.
But the tweet was like 2 years ago.
Dude, Jay-Z's so strict about that shit.
Yeah,
like, I literally have to buy Apple Music just because he only has his music on that one platform. He's so crazy about that stuff.
But yeah,
anyways, find Pat, Unhinged Yankees on Twitter, and what is it? Unhinged Patrick on Twitter now? Yeah, so follow all that. Unhinged Yankees on Instagram, all that. Check out unhingedyankees.com. New article every single morning.
Yes, sir.
And also for me, as always, Stan Allen Rourke on Twitter and on Instagram, Yankees Avenue, NYY Video, NYY Home Runs, all that be in the description on Instagram. Use code NYYHR, $20 off your SeatGeek purchase. Make sure you like and subscribe. The video, Pat, any final thoughts before we say goodbye?
Yeah, we just have, I just want to let the people know that me and Dan have some great concept ideas cooking up very soon.
Absolutely, for sure. Absolutely. Oh, damn, we really are we're approaching 35 minutes, and this is
sir.
dope. Yeah, so a bunch of big things coming soon. One more win, and the series is tied. So we'll go from there. Let's hopefully win Game 4. It's Naka versus Granky if Wednesday is rained out.
Let's go.
Let's go Yankees, and I'll see you guys next time.
Her body's gold like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we try